ATV Motocross rolled into RedBud for our previous round, and Joel Hedrick and Chad Wienen put on another classic battle up front. While riders shuffled the podium positions behind them, Hedrick got away, while Michael Allred went down hard. Then Wienen caught Hedrick and rolled into the number 1 spot. Wesley Wolf's podium bid ended with mechanical problems, and Wienen scored a clutch victory straight up over Hedrick. Allred and Hedrick got good starts in Moto number 2, while podium contenders Rastrelli and Ford were tangled in turn 1. Again in the rollers, Wienen was able to take the measure of Hedrick en route to a key 1-1, an extension of the points lead. Rastrelli did his best to come through traffic until his engine expired. So with all the carnage throughout the podium, it was Max Lindquist on the box for the first time. ATV Motocross from Loretta Lynn's is next. The venerable Loretta Lynn Ranch, Hurricane Mills, Tennessee, about an hour outside of Nashville, host of the ATV National Motocross Championship. I am Jason Wygant. The Insiders, well, they know this event as Dirt Days, and part of this is the 88 Live to Ride Foundation's fundraising drive. Great part of the ATV motocross community, and you'll never have a race here at Loretta's without some rain and mud coming through and then reclaiming the racetrack. And we want to mention that about 2 weeks after this race, this area was hit with hellacious rains, epic flooding, and it led to the loss of life in the Waverly, Tennessee area. Go to Road to Recovery, road2recovery.com for more on the Racers for Waverly fundraiser as the industry of motocross bikes and ATVs tries to help this area rebuild. As far as the conditions here earlier for this race, the typical heat and humidity that defines racing at the ranch. Max Lindquist on the podium at our last race. Let's talk to the youngster.
Coming in here off RedBud, first pro podium, super stoked on that. It was an awesome weekend and just on a super high note right now. Coming in with obviously lots of confidence, and you know, weather's a little on the edge right now. Not sure how the weekend's gonna go, but you know, preparing for the best and still getting one podium down, shooting for another, and you know, just gonna go out with that mindset and see what we can do this weekend.
Now, Lindquist was pumped on the podium in the last race. Joel Hedrick was not. He finished second. He really needs to knock down some wins, or Chad Wienen is going to slip away with this championship. Here's Joel.
What's up, guys? We're here at Loretta Lynn's. It's been 2 years since we've been here. Of course, it rained on us and made it interesting for today. The track's drying out a little bit right now. I just drove around and was watching practice, and it actually looks pretty good. There's a couple soft spots, but I'm sure by the time we race, it'll be all right if we don't get any more rain. But I don't know, it's interesting. It's hot and muggy and it's a little wet. If you go out of the line, I'm sure it's going to be a mess. So it's going to be a day for no mistakes and a good start. So we're just here and having fun, and you know, whatever happens, happens. Obviously, I trained hard and I'm here to win, so that's the goal. But you know, we've been up and down year, so try to end on some ups.
Yeah, it has been a little different for the Wienen and Hedrick battle this year. Wienen able to take the measure of Hedrick straight up at a couple of races. Usually Hedrick has the speed, no problem, and just has to work on the consistency. This year it's been reversed. See if Hedrick can strike back. ATV Motocross is brought to you by Rocky Mountain ATVMX and by CST Tires. Well, as mentioned before the break, Chad Wienen taking control with a 1-1 at our last race at RedBud. He has had speed to burn this year, not just Mr. Consistent, and he wants more today.
Up in the air how the conditions will be, but I think it'll come around pretty good. Hopefully we get pretty decent weather today and help dry things out, but regardless, my Yamaha's running great, and I've been riding really well, so I feel like I just got to try to keep riding that wave. So yeah, we have 2 rounds left, have a small points lead, so I got to keep doing what I've been doing and try to keep progressing and try to keep gaining points. But obviously, you know, just focus one at a time and one race at a time, one gate drop, and just keep having fun. I've been having a great time, and we're going to try and keep that up.
And Wienen and the rest of the crew rolling out for our qualifying practice. Now, Dirt Days here at Loretta's has served as the season finale more often than not. But this year there will be one additional race. We're going to Briarcliff in Ohio, so this will be your next to last round. So you see Hetrick here. He's got to hope to win the last 4 motos of the year and get some bad luck out of Wienen, and the title could still be his. You see just how rough and sandy this layout is. Nick Janusa putting his hard laps down. Track really has come together. A little bit of mud stuck to the machines, but not nearly as bad as we thought it would be. Brandon Hogue slinging it sideways past the Yamaha mechanics area. Bryce Ford here, super fast. He could be a podium runner today. He'll have to go through the veteran, Jeffrey Rastrelli, who's been fighting the kids for that podium spot every week. And they made a breakthrough at our last race. We mentioned Max Lindquist. You see rolling through the 10 Commandments here, also on the box. So lots of contenders for that podium position. Don't forget Cody Ford is also capable on the number 5. And Michael Allred, always looking good in yellow. Yes, Allred in yellow. Had good starts in our last race. Logan Stanfield. Been at it for a while here. The 55. Net Kianek coming out of Poland on the 991. Cesar Jimenez on the 101. Look at how well this soil has turned up. Zach Harris goes through the sand. Big crash here for Wesley Wolf, and that was scary. Wolf has been very good this year, has been on the podium. Apparently spark plug cap broke, and that led to the crash. Hetrick, your fast qualifier. We send best wishes to Wesley Wolf there, who broke his elbow. The radial head on his elbow shattered it, and he's in for a long recovery. He should be back to racing next season. We'll be right back with Moto 1. ATV Motocross is brought to you by Rocky Mountain ATVMC and by CST Tires. Line them up, move them out. It's time for Moto 1 here. Dirt Days, Loretta Lynn's Ranch, ATV National Motocross Series. Jason Wygant to give you the call. Brandon Hogue has our Rocky Mountain ATVMC on board. Let's go racing. Oh, good jump for Hogue. We might have a hole shot here. He's got the light blue colors on the outside, and he makes it happen. Hogue with a hole shot. And you love when these young kids get starts, because you want to see what they can do against Wienen and Hetrick, who are right there. There's Rastrelli around the outside getting pelted, and Wienen wasting no time, shoving to the inside as they head to the 10 Commandments, and he's got the lead. I'm telling you, rejuvenated this year. Hard to believe that a 7-time champ and defending champ of the series could be rejuvenated, but I think there's just a little something extra in the game for Wienen this year. And he's starting to pull away a bit. Let's see if Hogue can hang with him, and that's that challenge I was talking about. You see these kids, they've got speed. Can they run the pace, and what will they learn while they're up there? Hetrick quickly up into the number 3 spot. And he's got his teammate, Jeffrey Rastrelli, right there, and then Ford on the number 4. So we got a good setup in this moto. Ooh, Wienen throwing it sideways. That wasn't on purpose. And look at this, Hogue is looking for running room to try to retake the lead. Triple after the finish. And they're all getting it. Man, that is a pretty big leap on an ATV, especially you're tight, twisting through that corner. Look at this dirt. Thought this might be a mud race. Looks absolutely primo here, although the riders are going to be challenged with the heat and humidity. And Hogue continues to keep Wienen honest. Back in his storyland, back section of the track. We work our way toward the center and then the sand. And Hogue is not holding up Hetrick or Rastrelli. He is holding his own, in fact. And you know that the likes of Hogue, oh, and a hard landing there as Hetrick tried to air it out. You know that the likes of Hogue and Ford, Lindquist, a lot of these young guys, this is what they want to do. They want to show that they're not just here to fight for podiums. They want to get in those top 2 positions and challenge the riders who have won, probably 95% of the races over the last 5-6 years. No longer have Thomas Brown, the veteran, with us. Retired at the end of last season. Brown had won a couple of races here and there, so with him out, the door is really open. Rastrelli certainly capable, but it's all about the young guns in ATV Motocross, and Wienen almost flipped it in that corner, rode the bicycle, 2 wheels all the way through, so he is having to push right now. Now you go back to Hetrick in 3rd. Like I said, not even really being held up by Hogue. Hetrick, a long-time Red Rider on the Honda TRX 450R. Now the Phoenix team running Yamahas this year, and The Yamaha is certainly capable because that's what Wienen has been winning his titles on. But I think they've just been using this year to try to get the Yamaha to where they were with the Honda. So Hedrick has been good, really good there around the outside. Great job to take the measure of Hogue. But there's just a small difference in speed that Hedrick usually has over everyone else. He's been good this year, but not dominant speed-wise. And you can see him fighting that machine. Man, that was fun to watch through that sand. And he's going to make a run at Wienen, you know it. So another test, another measure here. Can Hedrick run Wienen down? In previous years, I think he could get the job done. Oh, Michael Allred, another crash. We've seen far too much of that as of late. Go back to the lead. Wienen holding his own. Hedrick's going to dig deep. He has to. Going to be a good run down the stretch here at Loretta's. Hogue running strong in third. But the leaders are about to press the pace up front. Behind that looks like Rastrelli. Ford Lindquist going to go at it for fourth. And Wienen trying to maintain the lead. ATV Motocross is brought to you by Rocky Mountain ATVMC and by CST Tires. Wienen versus Hedrick, it has been the story in ATV Motocross for a long time now, and that's still the story today. Now Hedrick got into second, he was pressing, he was closing, but now Wienen has answered. We saw Mike Allred have a crash earlier. He's okay, but his race looks over. This battle continues to rage. Ford has gotten around Rastrelli. You've got Lindquist right there. But shout out to Hogue. He is on no man's land. He has not been able to keep pace with the leaders. But generally, you could say who can. But what he has done has pulled away from that battle behind him. So Hogue really getting it done. Those are his peers back there. They have had great battles for third, and he has left them in the dust. And Ford and Lindquist, they're going to settle it between them now for fourth. So a little bit of an off moto from Rastrelli. Maybe he's having a problem because they've both gotten around him and pulled away. Woo! Chad Wienen almost threw it away there. There is Rastrelli. You don't normally see him start third and go all the way back like this. Now in a battle with Janusa to hold on to sixth. Brandon Hogue, he's been up and down early in his pro career, but he is, oh no! Hogue is off the side of the track. He had one of the best runs we've ever seen from him. Announcer's curse. I was just talking about the ups and downs, and then he got it figured out, then he hits the mud, and now he's got problems. Let's reset the order. They've all gotten by. This Rastrelli and Janusa battle is now for fifth instead of sixth. Last lap, and Wienen is throwing down again. Ford and Lindquist battling. I think that's actually going to be for third now because Hogue got stuck in the mud there on the side of the track. Hogue is actually behind this battle as Janusa gets inside of Rastrelli around the billboard turn. Wienen continues to lead. There's Hedrick going to have to settle for second, and here is Hogue. Oh, bummer for him. One mistake away from a podium and probably the best ride of his career. But one mistake can make all the difference. Just talk to this guy. He has been the most consistent man in the game over the last decade, and that is why he's working on his 8th championship. Moto 1 belongs to the big man from Galena, Illinois, Chad Wienen. We get ready for Moto number 2. Not a lot of time to recover considering how hot and humid it is out here today. We'll see if Hogue can get some revenge after what coulda, shoulda, woulda been a podium in Moto 1. Let's go racing. Hogue does it. Another hole shot. This time a little further to the inside, but same result. Woo, look at Hedrick around the outside. Big drive on that Yamaha. Gets the number 88 to the number 1 spot. That's what he needs. Wienen fighting for around 5th here with Rastrelli. Got to get around Lindquist and Ford. Some real fast kids. So this is going to be interesting. Hedrick is going to put in some burner laps right now and try to build up the biggest lead possible. Look at the gap he has already. Rolling through that sand turn. Track's a lot different here in Moto 2. The riders trying to figure out the lines. Of course, the pro side of ATV Motocross, we tie it right in with the amateurs. So they'll run amateur motos. We'll have a pro moto one, more amateur motos. Look at those ruts. When you throw so many different riding techniques, styles, speed, and machines in there, how did Wienen get to second already? So much for that. I thought he'd really have a challenge on his hand to get around those Yamahas in front of him. Lindquist, Ford, Hogue. He's into second. Could he potentially go try to track Hedrick down and win the overall today? And I can't tell if Hedrick is making mistakes or if this track is just that gnarly. As always, the answer probably a combination of both. Rastrelli takes a rough ride into the 10 Commandments to show you how difficult it is. Ford, he's backwards on the track. He spins it around. This course is just breeding mistakes right now. Wienen hoping for a big one from the leader. The burner lap put in by Hedrick early, that is making the difference. Wienen made quick passes, but he's got a lot of ground to make up. And here is Hogue. Can he hold on to third? Going to explore the high line in that corner. You saw how difficult those ruts down to the inside were for Hedrick. Oh, Hogue has company. Wow, who knew there was standing water down there through the mechanics area? Lindquist all over Hogue. Great battle for the podium. Lindquist around the outside. He uses the Hedrick line. Shoots into third. These kids are all right. Going to be fun to watch them battle to the end. ATV Motocross is brought to you by Rocky Mountain ATVMC and CST Tires. Joel Hedrick is your leader here. Loretta Lynn's Dirt Days ATV National. And he'd be headed to the overall if he can hold off Chad Wienen. They'd split the motos today, a 2 and a 1. Good for Hedrick because he'd have the overall win, but also good for Wienen because the goal right now is to just not lose points. We have 1 round left in the series. And Wienen maintains a solid points lead into the 10 Commandments. Brandon Hogue trying to hold off Rastrelli and Janusa, and Rastrelli getting there to the inside. You saw the line, and he takes it away. So Rastrelli much better here in Moto 2. Hogue has come undone. He was third. Had that big battle with Lindquist before he went to commercial break. Lost third. Now he's lost fourth. There you see the gap between Hedrick and Wienen, your leaders. So Hogue going to look at today as a potential 3-3, but it's not going to happen. Made a mistake late in Moto 1 and then got zapped here by Lindquist and Rastrelli in Moto 2. Ups and downs for everybody today. And again, I think a lot of it is this track. It has changed so much from the mud we had this morning. It's gotten super rough. It's going to be slick and polished in spots. You've got sand in others, and then other areas are tacky. More attacks. Janusa trying to get Hogue through the 10 Commandments. Going to use the same inside line that Rastrelli tried earlier. There's Lindquist all alone in third. And now we have to start thinking podium. Lindquist is in position to get it for the second race in a row. Look at the airtime from Hedrick. I mean, that is full send into that sand corner. Oh, and Janusa just able to edge by. Janusa has an outside shot at that third place podium position. I think he'd have to catch Rastrelli and Lindquist to do it, so that's going to be tough. So Lindquist, last year's Pro-Am champion, that is the stepping stone to this pro division, coming into his own now as a rookie with back-to-back podiums. Hedrick finishing this one off. He has pulled away from Wienen. Had it dialed in this moto. A couple of turning points this season. He flipped it upside down on the mud at Unadilla. Also got run into by a flipping quad at a race at mid-season. Got banged up a little bit there. At one point he had the points lead and things were looking good for the title. It just seems like the breaks always go Chad Wienen's way. But as for Wienen, I've talked to him about it quite a bit. He really does play the risk and reward game. He does not believe that the consistency is an accident. In his younger days, Wienen was the wild man who would win or crash. And he has learned the lessons through the years. Not going to get the overall win today. It's going to go to Hetrick. It'll go down to the finale as far as the fight for the championship. But Joel Hetrick is the winner here at Loretta's. And that's got to feel good after the Moto won second place. Let's talk to our top three.
Joel Hetrick took the win at Loretta Lynn's.
Hey guys, Max Linkus here. Loretta Lynn's P3 overall again, back-to-back. This is second overall rookie year. Man, so excited, so stoked. Everything's been falling so good lately. Man, just can't thank everyone enough, the whole team, the family and everything. It's been just an awesome weekend here.
Just couldn't quite find that speed today, and man, Joel was ripping, and he nailed his starts, and he made the race look easy, and man, we're just going to keep working, and just huge props to my team. We got the points lead, but we got a lot of work to do. We got to keep this rolling, and we're going to try.
Super happy with the bike. We made some adjustments, and it really worked out. You know, we're still building, we're gaining, and we're at a deficit still, but I'm just looking to make this machine better and just try to get up on the box, and we did it today. So super happy. Can't thank the Phoenix Racing crew enough. Yeah, so pumped. 2-1 overall. Here we go.
Yeah, and that's some of the progression on this new Yamaha that team was looking for, and you can see how happy he is. Here's Moto 1 of the CST Tires race recap. Great battle between Hogue and Wienen and Hetrick early. Hetrick in the number 3 spot. He would eventually get around Hogue. Watch this rush around the outside. Michael Allred had a crash. He was okay. And then Hogue had third tucked away, and then he gets stuck in the mud and coughs it up. Good battle between Rastrelli and Janusa. Lindquist. Checker flag goes to Wienen over Hetrick. Ford actually got third in that moto due to the mistake from Hogue. Hogue comes back, whole shots Moto 2, quickly passed by Hetrick, who is on a full rush to win this moto in the overall, and he checked out from there. Wienen gets around Hogue. Wienen made a brief run at Hetrick, but it was not enough. Hogue gets passed by a couple riders. Lindquist, Rastrelli, Janusa was putting pressure on. Hetrick, unreal speed in this moto. That is vintage Joel Hetrick. But there's the problem. He's still down 22 points with only 2 motos and 1 race to go. We'll see you in Ohio. For everyone at Racer TV, I'm Jason Wygant. Thanks for watching, and congrats to Joel Hetrick.